So the second video of the day, and I'm just going to be talking about the World Juniors. And I know that NBA basketball is on right now, and the Toronto Raptors are playing. But I know they play tonight, so I am going to watch them. But the World Juniors is just kind of with the Christmas theme, and it's we all knew basketball was coming, and we didn't know what was going to happen with the World Juniors, and I'm just happy that they're here. So we're going to talk about them. Now, so Devin Levi is going to start his third straight game in net for the Canadians, and he's 2-0 right now, and hasn't really had much of shots. The reason is obvious because the Canadians are so talented. They're able to shut down the attempted rushes. They can even shut them down at the other team's blue line, our blue line, or the red line. So right there's the problem you deal with. It absolutely stagnates the rush. They don't even have to play a 1-3-1 style or anything like a defensive-minded style because they're just so confident in their one-on-one ability that the other team just falls apart when they have a plan against it. So yeah, I think Levi's having a very easy time, and the only thing would be maybe him just being cold. Having to sit in the net for a little bit and not get too many shots on him can sometimes affect a goaltender because all of a sudden, after 10 minutes of neutral zone and offensive zone play, a high-quality scoring chance comes along. And that's more because they might get a little lazy. That's why you see very good teams just give up random, horrible breakaways because it seems that they're so confident in their offensive ability, and even if they are gifted defensively, sometimes they slip up and kind of forget to take care of their own end for a minute. Now, for some of the games that we're on, a bright spot, kind of a nice thing to talk about, although Canada did beat Germany 16-2 the other night, it was sad to see Tim Stützle's face of how disappointed he was. And it's kind of that look of, okay, I know I'm the best player on this team. I know I'm just as good as any of those guys on the Canadian roster, but like they said, there's 20 first-round picks playing on this roster. And the other night when we lost, I forget who it was, to the illegal hit, I just can't think of his name right now, but he was suspended. And that knocked it down to 19 first-round picks. So no matter what happens to the Canadian team, they're always able to supplement someone being gone. And the prime example was Spence on the back end. He was a big surprise, and he was a fourth-round pick. So it's pretty, like every other team that they play, for example, when they were playing the Slovaks, a lot of the players weren't even playing in their Division I teams. They were like 16, 17, 18 years old, but they're playing in their Division II leagues. So they weren't even seeing first or second round picks for the most part that they were playing against. They might have been playing against some fourth to seventh round picks, if not undrafted. So it's always a shock to the system when you go from playing a low-skill team to, or not a low skill, but maybe not as gifted, we'll just say, and then you go and play the Canadians. That's something that you going in, you probably know you're not going to win, and I didn't expect it to be 16-2. I was more just watching out for Stützle, but I was just excited to see him play, and he got that breakaway early on and almost scored, and I was kind of hoping he would get on the board, but he scored in the prior game, so it was maybe better that he didn't. But, so for the Germans, they played against the Slovaks last night, and they ended up winning in overtime, so awesome bounce back for the Germans. Stützle had 2 of the goals. Michael Mrazek for the Slovaks had the other 2, so obviously 2-2, and they ended up going to overtime after getting 2 more goals from each side. Zimmerman for the Germans, he was actually the one that got hit on the one that got Braden Schneider suspended, but Simon Ledkowski couldn't stop the puck from Zimmerman, which ended up in the overtime winner. Now, the awesome thing about these lower seed teams is that when they win, they act like they've won the gold medal, and evidence of the Czechs beating the Russians last night. So the Czechs beat Russians 2-0, and it's kind of a common trend that we see every year with Russia. They have a really good roster, although maybe this one's not as stacked as some years prior, but the goaltending for the Russians with Yaroslav Askarov you're expecting him to absolutely lock it down, and he did, though, with only allowing 2 goals over the course of the game and the Czechs giving up 29 shots. It was a pretty balanced game, but it's the Russians underachieving, and you don't just see it on the World Junior level, you see it a lot on the Olympic level. And ask Alex Ovechkin, that's the one thing that eludes him now. I mean, better than a Stanley Cup, but it's still the pride of his home country, Russia, that he wants to represent with a gold medal. So yeah, that's kind of just a roundup of what's been going on with the World Juniors, and Canada is obviously going to be playing Switzerland later today, and I hope you're all going to tune in for that. Whatever country you're from or whoever you're cheering for, good luck, and hopefully we're going to see some great matchups. I'm looking forward to see if we get a Canada-US matchup soon, because I really want to see players like Trevor Zegras, Alex Turcotte, Cole Caulfield. I want to see the whole works of them, and although Caulfield's been a little disappointing for a lot of people, especially in that 11-0 win against Austria, he didn't even record a point. Hopefully he could turn that around, because he's going to be crucial if the U.S. wants to go far in this tournament. Everyone just enjoy the game tonight. Don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.